What's up, BJJ fans? And of course, the BJJ stands for Blind Judo Journey. This week, I went to a downgrading. I wasn't planning on going to it, but I took a look at the British Judo events page and realised that I was going to be able to make it. It was in Kidderminster at Samurai. It was a really good club, really easy to get to as well, so I'm hopefully going to be going back there again whenever they have other events. So for those who have followed my channel for a while, you'll know that I got my second Dan in April, about 2 months ago. So it's a bit weird for me to be going to a downgrading already, but I am obsessed with competing. So for those who don't know, to get your dans in judo, you need to compete for them. To get your third dan, you need to have been a second dan for 2 years. I've only been a second dan for about 2 or 3 months, but you can still start collecting points. So you got to win 10 fights against second dans or higher to get your third dan. So I love competing. I was talking to one of the Paralympic coaches the other day. He said that he's never seen anyone who just loves going to comps as much as I do. I'm trying to get to a comp almost every week at this point. Absolutely love competition. Every fight you have in competition is a good experience. So since I'm a second dan now, there are less of us. So when I turned up, they weighed us all and they just put us in a pool. We just did a round robin. So there's no lineups, nothing like that. I just got 4 fights. I fought a second dan, a third dan, and 2 fourth dans. All of my competitors were basically the same weight as me. So let's take a look at how my first fight went.
Come on, Miles. Come on, Miles.
Nice, Miles.
So this is a pretty standard fight for me. I've won a lot of fights like this before, just with Ouchi after in the first exchange. He took one of his hands off, or his lapel hand off, and then he actually took his sleeve hand off as well, just allowing me to end my Ouchi really quickly. So pretty simple, nothing really to take away from this. One thing I will say is that after the fight, this guy was a third dan, but he was a third dan because he got his third dan, the points for it, in his previous fight. And he told me afterwards, he was saying, I just didn't really have the motivation, so I wasn't really trying, kind of thing. And I will say, if you've lost a fight, don't go give people excuses of, well, I wasn't trying, I wasn't motivated. It just takes the win away from the person who's beaten you. Like, accept it. If you weren't really motivated, you didn't really want to win the fight, you shouldn't be doing the fight. Okay? That's just a thing about respect. But to be fair, I still won. I'm still happy with myself. My second fight, going into this fight, this guy looked good. I'd seen him in a couple of other fights. We'd seen him beat some other people already. Let's take a look. And yeah, I got smashed. Literally all that happened, he two-handed grip break, takes my lapel hand off. Immediately, as someone visually impaired, I now have a lot less gripping power. I'm not as knowledgeable at where I am. I then am focusing on the hand that I don't have on him. And during the time that I am focusing on that, he drops under me for a drop katakiruma. Really nice. It was a really good throw. And I land and I'm damn, whatever. Learning experience. I've already spoken to the Paralympic coaches about this fight, about things to take away from it, and the main thing is when they remove that lapel hand, you need to think about re-gripping with your other hand so that you're still in a stable grip so that you can know when they're entering these throws and try and block them or find more stable opportunities. This guy also was a fourth dan. He was really good, so I'm not complaining too much about this loss, but it did give me something to take away and go and practice on. My third fight was against the second dan. Let's take a look.
Really?
Come on, Miles.
That Wazari will haunt me. It was a really close, Wazari, maybe no score, whatever, but you can't complain to the refs, just shouldn't have let it happen in the first place. But I don't really know what happened. I need to go and think about that. I think he just tripped me and I went straight to the ground, but they scored Wazari for it. So I stood back up, and with downgradings, you need to win by Ippon, not just by Wazari. So I was thinking to myself, okay, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to win this fight. I'm still going to be fine. That's not an obstacle. And I knew that he was going to try and do that, and I should be more careful about that. Because maybe I was a bit too confident going into it, so I allowed him to take advantage of that, which I then going into the next exchange realized, no, I'm not going to let that happen. You also realize in downgradings, because you need to win by Ippon, you don't want to let stalling happen really, so you spend a lot less time on the ground. So you'll have noticed a couple of times we end up in guard, and we both just sort of look at the ref, and it's just like, can we just stand up? And neither of us wants to be here, which is fair. He did a really nice drop Seonagi actually that I managed to cartwheel out of, but he did it really well. So that was possibly the scariest moment of the day, to be fair, because if that had been slightly quicker, then maybe he would have gotten me. But then I managed to pass his half guard. Obviously, me having done a bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I am quite good at feeling when people have my leg, getting myself out of that position. Managed to get into a hold down, pinned him, and he knew he couldn't move from that position. There was nothing he was going to be able to do, so he just tapped, just to say like, yeah, he's got me. And I won from there. So winning on the ground as well. I haven't won on the ground in a while. So on to my fourth fight. This fight was intense. I'd heard a lot of stuff about this guy already. He apparently is really good. He's fought a lot of people. He's on the British Masters squad. He's also a fourth Dan. So going into this, I was a bit scared.
Hey, Jimmy. Okay. Hey, Jimmy. Okay.
My action. There's no technique there. Come on, end it.
Hey, Jimmy. Okay. Hey, Jimmy.
Not so I've been wanting to keep it.
Cut day. Hey, Jimmy.
Miles.
Mattei. Hai Jimmy. Mattei. Hai Jimmy. Mattei. Hai Jimmy.
Oh, yes, Miles.
When we grip up, I say to him, "Oh, are you left-handed?" And he says, "I'm not going to tell you that," which was really interesting. So him being a lefty, I had to sort of switch styles. I felt a lot of people told me afterwards that I did better in the second half of this fight than the first half. I think in the first half I kind of hadn't found my groove, but then halfway through the fight I kind of realized, okay, this is the stuff he does. He's going for these uchimaras. That seems to be his big thing. Okay, so I need to defend the uchimara. I was trying to think, how am I going to win this now? Okay, what throws can I get from the positions that I'm getting to? So I was going, okay, I can either get a big turning Makikomi or Koshiguruma. That felt like that would be there. I didn't feel like I'd be able to do my drop Seonagi. It just didn't feel like it was going to happen. So what I ended up doing was I was like, I'm either going to counter him or I'm going to hit him with this big turn throw. So I was trying it. And I did, what I'm going to say was an amazing suplex Uranagi.
Oh, yes, Miles.
I'm really, really proud of that. It's the first time I've managed to get Ippon with an Uranagi in competition. I was really proud. It was an awesome throw, to be fair. Come on. Yeah, so I was really proud of this fight. I thought it was a really good fight for me to showcase against someone who obviously was very good, but coming away the victor was really, really, I'm really proud of that fight in particular. So it was a really fun day. I got 30 points towards my third Dan. I'm aiming to get my third Dan within 2 years, or before the time limit of before the 2 years of being a second Dan is up. I quite like the idea of doing that. I'm hoping that I should be able to do that. Maybe even try and get in under a year. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what competitions come up. But I'm really proud of how the day went. I think I beat 3 people, lost to 1. The guy who beat me also beat everyone else. So if there were medals, silver. There was no medals, sadly. But everyone was really nice. I've met a lot of people. I actually ended up hanging out with a couple of my mates from Warwick Uni. All of them managed to get their Dan grades as well. So watching people win their lineups and watching people get the points is super. It's a great feeling to be able to cheer on your mates. Anyway, next week's video is going to be on me attempting to make 73 kilos for Power Potential Day. So tune in for that next week. Soramade!